Awesome. So today is 11/1/22. And we're going to do hard distributive property. Hard distributive property. Make sure you text Brian and say, hey, watch the YouTube videos. They're amazing. Shout out to Brian.
You're supposed to be, but you should go live.
Yeah, you should go live.
Yeah, you should go live. You can just watch it from home.
Totally. All right.
Please go live.
7x plus 2. So this is super easy. Okay? This one's a super easy from yesterday. So, yesterday I was like, oh, it's just like Halloween. You go trick-or-treating. What number is going to be distributed? The 7. So we give the 7 to the x, and we give the 7 to the 2. What's the number one mistake kids do is they forget to give it to the 2, right?
Or 2. What's the second mistake?
They'll put the answers together. So what's 7? So we multiply 7 times x?
7x plus 14.
And that's your answer. Second mistake would be that they would add these two. But you can't because one has an x, one does not. This is like saying I have 7 Snickers and $14 in my pocket, So it's like, do I have 21 Snickers? No. Do I have $21? No. You cannot put these two things together. They're different. Totally.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So now let's do some super hard ones.
Yeah, like put on your words.
Negative. Wait.
Not as easy, I guess. Negative plus m.
And then you put a negative on it?
Yeah.
Well, what do you solve?
Negative m.
I think I did it.
I think I did it too.
What's in the parentheses?
Put a negative on
An
it.
8.
Can you do anything with 8 plus m?
No.
Okay. So what'd you
I
do?
got negative 8 plus negative m.
I know.
That's what I put.
Me too. Same.
That's true.
Is right?
So, what do I distribute?
The
Negative.
Negative. Okay? What you don't see, and in algebra this happens a lot. There is an invisible number there.
What is it?
What invisible number is there?
You don't know?
1. It's not 0. It's 1. It is a negative, but it's actually
Negative 1.
a negative 1.
we knew that.
I knew that.
So it's
Okay.
nothing else, only 1.
So, for example, later on, when I go, oh, it's an x, right? How many x's is this? No, this one. This one. It's 1. This is a 1x. There's an invisible 1 in front of it. But do we say 1x? No, we just say x. There's an invisible 1. In algebra, there's a lot of invisible 1s. We like, oh, we don't need to write it. Save ink. So,
You get, if you distribute the 0,
Good.
you just get 0.
No, we didn't.
it's not, sometimes it's invisible 0 when we're adding, but most of the time in algebra, because we're multiplying more, it's an invisible 1. So here, you guys did it correctly. You distribute the negative, so it's technically, mathematically, it's negative 1 times 8 plus negative 1 times m, okay? That's how we end up with what you guys were telling me, negative 8 plus negative m, right? But it's like, well, how did you guys get that? This is the work. What's negative 1 times 8? Negative 8. Plus, what's negative 1 times m? Right? Or just negative m.
Oh,
Right?
That doesn't make sense.
I was right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go.
Big brain.
Let's go.
Yay.
Who needs that one?
Algebra.
Algebra.
It's
It
just
makes sense, but it's also confusing.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's so
I get it, right? I remember it.
It's so really
Spam Brian.
Because I need it for algebra.
Wow.
All right.
Right.
So let's do this. Negative, parentheses, W plus 12. All right. So, what are we distributing?
The 1.
The negative 1. Or distributing a negative, right? We're distributing a negative, so we're multiplying by negative 1. You're distributing a negative, you're distributing a negative 1.
Negative W plus negative 12.
Oh, you guys stepped on my paint. Oh,
What paint?
there's paint outside.
What?
Where you guys line up? All right. Kids.
Nothing's wrong.
Okay. What did you guys get?
Negative W plus negative 12.
Plus.
Negative 12.
Okay. So you distribute the negative, which means negative 1 times W plus negative 1 times 12. And you have to keep in mind your Dorito man, right?
Yes.
Your Dorito man. This is a negative. This is a positive, right? It's just W. W is a positive. All right? All right.
Oh, no, something we don't mind yesterday's science.
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
What?
Like, we were watching a video about, like, how humans interact with the environment. And at the very end, like, an alien came out, but he was shaped like Dorito Man.
Negative 8?
And, he had, like, a cape or something. Or did he have a cape? I don't
No,
know.
he didn't. He just had like.
And then, but he looked like a Dorito Man. And then he started, killing the humans.
Jumping him.
He just like stomped
See,
they
the
stomped
bad
on him
one.
and they made it a
It was
flat
jumping.
paper.
I'm so
confused.
It was getting me.
Like, he literally, like,
Real life
hit a
Dorito
field with
Man.
a- I was like, oh.
I don't
Tell
think
Miss
he-
Gassner about the Dorito man.
Yeah, we told Miss Gassman that, you don't have a guy with confused.
All right.
Hey,
Copyright
what?
claim.
Copyright free phone.
What is this?
All right. What are we distributing?
The negative 1.
So there's a negative 1, remember? Whenever you just see a negative, it is a negative 1. So we're going to distribute, and we're going to distribute. Okay? So just like we wrote it up here, negative 1 times whatever this is, right? So you just write whatever this is, you just write it there. Whatever this is, you just write it right there, right?
What? Wait, isn't that a positive?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah, Dorito Man.
How would you negative?
All right.
8 plus 6.
Negative 1 times, what is this?
Negative H.
So wouldn't that just be 8?
Yeah, because we use the Dorito man, right? And this is a negative, and this is also a negative. Yes, your variables can be negative. So what's left over? A positive. So it's just H. We drop the 1. Can you write 1H? Yeah, you're 7th graders. You're barely beginning. I get it. In high school, you'll just write the H, and you'll forget about the 1. But you still know in the back of your mind that there's an invisible 1 there. We just tend not to write it. It's never a 0. Okay? 0H. What is 0 times H?
0.
0. So it's never a 0. It's never an invisible 0. It's an invisible 1. Okay. Plus negative 1 times negative 6. Okay. Again, Dorito Man comes into play. Right? This is a negative. This is another negative. What did I not circle? A positive. So what's 1 times 6? 6. So final answer is just H plus 6. So I understand that when you look at these problems, they look hard. You got a lot of stuff going on. But the skills that you've been learning will come into play. Like the skills of like, hey, Dorito Man, you need them here. Right? The skill of let me write it down, showing my work. You know, this is when it's like yesterday when we were doing some easy stuff and you're like, oh, actually no one really did this, but some kids are like, oh, why do I have to write this? Like, why do I have to show my work? It's so easy. It's just 7x and 14. I get it. It's when we get into these harder ones that like, okay, you got to write everything down. Yes.
This is a good question. How much money do you get paid for your Yeah, to be honest, that's an easy thing.
All right.
Yesterday was the same thing.
Yes. Negative 2 J minus negative 7.
What is math right? Oh my gosh.
Algebra is all about your variables. Solving for. All right. Again, looks super hard, right? Looks super confusing. The hardest part about this is using the Dorito Man. That's the hardest part, is using your Dorito Man. Okay, what am I going to distribute?
Go -1.
-1. All right. So we're going to go -1 times whatever this is. -2j. Okay. Minus, again, distribute the -1 all the way over here. -1 times whatever this is. Oh, this is a -7.
Oh, wait, no, yeah.
It looks hard, right? If Brian was to walk in right now late and look at this, and he might be like, oh my God, what are you guys doing? This is super hard. But it's all about just trusting that if you don't get it, like the very first problem I teach you, like if you were sitting here going like, what is this? It's too hard. I don't get it. But believing in yourself that your teacher's going to go through more problems and allowing yourself to not block your mind. Like, oh, it's too hard. I don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, I'm done. But if you allow your brain to be like, okay, I don't get it the first time, but wait, let me give her a chance. Oh, piece of cake. Okay, so
Oh.
Grade, I used to see these problems like on like other
GG.
I don't know. And then I think that they were like high school
Lexia.
math or something. And I'm
I know.
I mean, you will definitely be doing a lot more of this in high school.
Ice station.
So this gives you a positive, right?
Yeah.
So 1 times 2 is just 2, so just 2j, right? Bring down the minus. And then again, Dorito Man, negative, negative, positive. These two are negatives, so it's a positive. So 1 times 7, 7. That's it. Yeah, it's supposed to be light. It looks, I'm not going to deny it, it looks hard, right? Definitely looks hard. You can show your parents tonight, hey, Mom and Dad, look what I did. And they'll be like, ooh, ah. And then, you know, they'll be like, tears.
Ready for microphone. Thank you.
All right.
Archie's running over.
Are we done?
Really pulled that out.
Brian, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Brian?
We'll check them.
Can you hear me, Brian? Brian, you put the comment in. Yes, I can.
Well, we're not going live, so.
Don't you need more subscribers to the
No, just when you watch the video. You can
go live.
When he watches it, right? Yes, I can.
I need like 1K subscribers.
That's like our. Yeah, that's on TikTok. But we like that.
I want to get that wrong.
Wow.
I don't think there's any like negatives on the like -1. There's no -1.
God.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do number 1 together. What am I distributing?
The -6.
-6. Maybe you need to draw your Dorito Man on the top. Right? Have that there. Just so you see it, you have it. Some of you can do it mentally, which is awesome. Some of you need a little Dorito Man. That's perfectly fine. All right, so I'm going to distribute the -6 to everything. So I get -6 times A plus -6 times 8. -6 times A.
-6A.
Okay, you just push them together. There's like no math here. You just literally push them together. Make sure it does not look like a 9. It looks like an A.
Yeah, mine kind of looks like a 9.
Sometimes like if you curl it up. Variables should be written like in
I put the little.
like cursive or italicized. That's why my X's look kind of funny because they're supposed to look like italicized. All right. Plus,
That's the point. That's how it's supposed to look.
what's -6 times 8?
48.
Okay, 48.
-48.
Yep, and then a negative times a positive?
Negative.
Negative. So if you don't know what a negative times a positive is, use your Dorito man, right? Negative, cover that up. Positive, cover that up. What's not covered up? A negative. If you still don't understand the Dorito man, my suggestion would be to go back, watch a YouTube video, or Google search it and watch another teacher teach it to you. I'm not offended.
Wait, do we have to do keep change opposite?
Not fancy.
Because for 5 it's 32 minus negative 0.4.
No.
That's what I know.
Oh.
It's like backwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do key change It's key change opposite.
My bad. My bad.
Okay, stop, gentlemen.
Okay, don't be mean.
You, Kevin, I'll take both answers.
What do we do for number 4 on the...
So can I just leave it or do I have to?
You can leave it. So, number 4, boys,
Do you still do the same thing?
it's like what we did yesterday on number 9, right? You just go backwards, right? It's still the same math. You take whatever is outside and you give it to everything that's inside.
There's
Oh,
a
you did
time.
that last time.
There's a dot. No, when like this
Oh, okay.
means 4 times. Here they literally wrote the dot. So it means the same thing. Dot or no dot. When it's squished together, it means multiplication. When there's a dot, it means multiplication. So it's the same. It's the same.
We also did it in this problem.
Yeah, it's just like number 10.
And then there's always like
Okay, Dylan, zip it.
Yeah.
Here
With
it
the print.
I think I have a answer key.
property is easy. I probably have all of them.
Dylan, what'd you get for number 4?
89 plus 1.
Thank you.
Está copiando.
I'm not.
I haven't done it back.
Good. Giselle, let's concentrate on working quietly.
Uy, I guess we have to do that.
Do we keep change flip on number 6?
You don't have to. You number 6?
Number 6? No. Number 6? No.
No, number 6 you
You
don't.
can't even.
You have to have the same variables.
Wait,
No, she asked. She asked.
Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Is what do this number 6?
Number 6 is negative 8b minus 32. Yeah. You guys have definitely sign does a keep change opposite.
Oh.
So when you check your answers,
Okay.
where is it?
Is it this one?
No, it's white.
Oh.
Is it not that one?
No, that was yesterday's. There it is.
Yeah, I'm probably on number 6.
Oh, it didn't change it.
It's not share your answers to
I'm
the
on
world.
10.
Here, check them.
What?
Wait.
And if it's like this one,
Oh.
do you see how it's that?
Yeah.
But
I'm
because
done.
it's these two.
Keep change. Okay.
Yeah. So you're still fine.
No.
Good for you.
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, obviously.
I knew that.
I'm not ready to 17.
You were just checking to
I'm fast. Owie.
Oh.
Getting there. 7.
I'm done.
Yeah, I'm halfway through. I'm on number 7 on the front. Good for you.
Yeah, I have a minus on that.
When we done, we can into Catholic?
Not yet. Let's check your answers. I haven't created the assignment.
I'm almost done. Halfway.
Wait, we don't do teacher.
No.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
But you can.
You will in high school.
Does it make more sense if I do? No.
I mean, as a 7th grader, if like number 5, if you just leave it right there, like with my sad face, that's okay. As a 7th grader, we're learning how to do this.
Is it gonna be
Mentally.
Huh? Yeah. In high school, like number 5, your teacher will have you change it to 32 plus 24n.
Because I did.
That's fine. What I learned yesterday is like I'm asking too much if I'm having you change it. So I'm like, all right, let me take a step back. Guys, we're doing some algebra right here. If you look at the title of this paper,
Algebraic.
okay, let me show you write your name on the homework book.
It's a software.
I'm assuming you forgot just to write that 0. I hope.
This is Daniel's.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Yeah, I hope you just forgot to write the 0 there. Yeah, totally was mine.
Don't worry, be too hopeful. That's a good lesson.
Why am I keeping the plus?
Oh god, I know, I put a plus sign on all of mine.
Careful.
What did I get?
Is
Yeah,
it even
I'll-
hard to distributed property or no? That's it.
The hardest part about distributed property is when you distribute that negative 1.
I see you.
That's the hardest part.
That's it?
We reached the max level.
For this grade, yeah.
Wait, how many points can we get this week for homework? 30?
30.
Because we have no school on Friday. We don't get no homework on Thursday. We still get homework on Friday.
Hey, I don't like that smile. I don't
Yeah.
like that smile.
Give us homework on Thursday. Because we will turn it in. And then the 4th week, we have all week off, right? That's cool.
Yeah, that's why it says 15B or 16 because it repeats. It's not in your
Let's go to Thanksgiving break. I'll be the good
And then December, we have 2 weeks off. That's very nice.
Yeah, you should just be
What are you
tired.
gonna do for December? I just noticed. Watch soccer games. What comes in the end like December 11th?
Do you think that will raise my grade a little?
I'm the crazy.
Huh?
That if I
What did
just
you add
like,
this
and my average
Yeah.
I'm done.
Alright.
This is still far away.
I'm just get close.
Kevin, check my answer.
Yes.
On the front side? I don't know.
Yeah, on the front side.
Yes. Front. Well, leave me alone.
What's 8 times negative 8?
One when you're done, check mine.
So the rest of it's okay, you just gotta go slow on the negative.
On the back, take yours.
There's no reason why it's negative. It's positive, positive. 4 times 1.
All right. What's your answer for number 2?
On what?
4 plus
4
36
plus
x.
36x.
What did you guys get for number 3?
30 and 12.
Negative 30 and plus 43.
Should be negative 30 and.
Yep.
Yep. Careful.
Hey, let me draw a star.
All right. Number 4
Wait, and the next one is 18 and 30.
And plus 20.
plus 20. If you say plus 10, you did not give to the second number.
Wait, is it okay if we do
I flipped it.
Like 20 plus.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. High school teacher, not okay with that. Your high school teacher is going to ask you, like this one in high school, will be written as 36x plus 4. They want the numbers with the variables in the front.
Oh, so it's not that bad.
But like here, I'm cool with this. If you flip it, fine, whatever. Like we're learning. Do I want to add too much stuff? No. Your high school teacher will. Your high school teacher is gonna be like, oh, distributed property. You guys know this? Cool. Let me teach you now how to correctly write it. They always want the one with the variable in the front. Am I gonna be picky? No. I'll leave it to your high school teacher.
Watch me get the following.
Watch me dunk on my teacher.
Keep drinking milk. All right, keep going, keep going, keep going.
That's not blood. That's a
I know. I keep putting pluses.